All right, let's dive right into this explainer. I want you to picture something for a second. Put yourself directly in the shoes of a veterinarian. You're living a pretty normal, mundane life, treating family pets, dealing with regular clinic headaches, just trying to make ends meet. But what happens when that quiet life takes a completely terrifying, irreversible detour? Today, we're going to break down the anatomy of a descent into the criminal underworld, using this absolutely fascinating hypothetical scenario from our sources. Think about this. What would you do if a gunman walked into your business and told you to save a life or lose yours? I want you to keep that impossible choice right in the back of your mind as we go through this. Section 1. The Midnight Intruder, a Desperate Knock. We're starting the story at the tail end of a totally exhausting 12-hour shift, right as a desperate man carrying his bleeding friend completely shatters your quiet night. He taps a pistol against the glass. You are literally forced to let them in. Look at the stark sensory contrast. On one hand, you've got your everyday world, right? Rabies shots, trimming tails, the safe, familiar routine of taking care of animals. But on the other hand, you've got the terrifying reality that just invaded your space. Bullet wounds and literal blood pooling on your clean tile floor. The violent chaos of the streets is suddenly right there inside your clinic. This really highlights the sheer, unimaginable panic of the moment. Remember, you have zero human medicine. You're forced into these crazy MacGyver-style steps. First, you have to calculate a horse tranquilizer dose for a human, and you're just praying you don't stop his heart. Second, clean a massive gunshot wound. And third, you're stitching him up with heavy blue dog nylon. You're literally using vet supplies, stuff meant to drop a 1,000-pound farm animal to do human surgery. So the gunman watches you tie that final knot. He tosses an envelope right onto the patient's chest, tells you to keep your mouth shut, and just leaves. Suddenly, you're all alone. There's blood on the floor, and you're holding an envelope stuffed with $5,000 in cash. And honestly, this massive payout, it becomes the very first piece of bait in the trap. Section 2. The Slippery Slope. Crossing the line. The immediate crisis might be over, but the psychological descent is really just getting started. What's so fascinating here is how incredibly easily, you start rationalizing crossing a massive ethical line. You could call the cops, but your clinic bills are piling up. Rent is late, your daughter's college fund is totally past due. Literally can't stop thinking about the gunman's cold, calculating eyes. Those are eyes that do not forget a face. So instead of making that call, you mop up the blood and hide the cash behind some old tax returns. The financial relief, mixed with that pure fear of retaliation, just entirely outweighs her conscience. And here is the actual turning point. 3 nights later. It's 2 a.m, and the clinic phone rings. But you don't hang up. A voice on the other end says they need help, exact same situation as before, but this time, double the pay. You picture your daughter's tuition bill. You give them the address, you end up stitching a woman up with 47 perfect stitches, and they leave you with 10 grand. The line hasn't just been crossed, it's practically miles behind you now. Section 3. The illusion of control, a new normal. It's crazy how fast the abnormal becomes completely normal. Watch how this escalates over just 3 months. By week 1, you're casually leaving the back doors unlocked on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Come month 1, you're setting shattered kneecaps using splints designed for Bernese mountain dogs. By month 3, you're treating burns with chicken antibiotics. You're upgrading your clinic tools, you're paying off your daughter's tuition deposits in full. I mean, you've made more cash in 3 months than you did in the last 2 years combined. And here's the psychological kicker. You actually start to feel capable. You feel needed, like you finally found the exact thing you were meant to do. You convince yourself that, hey, you're treating the uninsured, right? The construction worker who fell off a roof, the mother with zero health coverage. You tell yourself you're doing good work, helping people who can't afford a real hospital. But let me tell you, letting yourself feel proud here, that is your first fatal mistake.
Kidnapping. Ambush. That illusion of control shatters in an instant. It's 2 a.m. on a Thursday. You just finished fixing a routine late-night shoulder dislocation. You're walking out to your car, probably feeling totally in charge of your life, when you spot a black van idling in the corner lot. But it is way too late. 2 silent, incredibly purposeful men step out. Bam! A bag is shoved over your head. You hear the cold, sharp snap of zip ties locking around your wrists. After a terrifying drive in the dark, you're pulled out. They rip the bag off, and instantly, the sterile, chemical smell of a real hospital hits you. You've been ambushed, plunged into total darkness, and dragged into a world that is far, far beyond your humble little animal clinic.
I want to leave you with this question to really chew on. At what exact moment did the trap actually close? Was it when you took that first envelope of cash? When you didn't hang up the phone at 2 a.m.? Or was it literally inevitable the second you unlocked your clinic door that first rainy night? And more importantly, let's be real. If you were in those exact same shoes, staring down those same past due bills, feeling that exact same fear, would you have seen it coming? Think about that.